High Desert State Prison, located in Lassen County, California, would first open its doors in 1995 and is home today to over 3,300 minimum, medium, and maximum custody inmates. Back on February 1st, 2021, at approximately 6:30 p.m., staff within the prison would observe inmate Ricardo Palmerin punch inmate Christian Lepe, knocking him to the ground, and begin hitting him with what seemed like stabbing-like motions. Shortly after the first punch was thrown, another inmate, David Morales, would join into the attack on Christian Lepe. And although staff would immediately respond by firing 2 rubber bullets at Ricardo Palmerin, which would initially halt the violence, Christian Lepe had already suffered multiple stab wounds. Life-saving measures were given to Christian Lepe, and he was transferred to the prison's medical facility where treatment would continue. Sadly, a doctor would pronounce Christian Lepe dead at 7:30 p.m.
It's recording. It's recording right now.
Fuck it though. Hey, what's up, homie? Say something. Homeboy, start reading. Homeboy, start up. What's up? All mortars are locked up, homeboy. Recipe, Joe Medina, homeboy. That homie right there. Here's the gun for me. Hey, what's up, homie? Say something for the camera. What's up, homie? Say something for the camera, homie. Say something to the camera, homie. What's up, homie? It's the motherfucking Mocha gang out here, homie. Everybody representing the counties. You know we're all united, homie. Stay strong. You can't stop, won't stop.
Skid over on the sidewalk. It hit a pedestrians, and then it hit my store, the doors, and it broke the doors of my store. The driver, I think he was in his 20s. He was kind of a shock, you know. He couldn't talk. I mean, they pulled him out.
As officers approached the vehicle took off at a high rate of speed and ran through the next 2 intersections. As the vehicle was thrown against the store, there was also a mid-20-year-old male pedestrian walking into the store. He was also pronounced dead.
Okay, so we can definitely do that. Okay, then,
6 p.m. Gang Task Force Briefing Room, Santa Ana Police Department.
The other night, we got Detective Richard Hernandez, one of the Lopers, probation violation, and he was telling me that if you've ever seen or met Jesus Orhel, he's back, and he's looking for a little revenge. So.
Officers from regular patrol squads have been assigned to this unit for the next 6 months. Friday, they invited OCN to ride along with them.
31-602-10-4.
Their objective? To keep gang-related violent crime to a minimum.
Out here every night. So what they get from the gang investigators is they know where the gang members are. It's not like we just bringing a guy out and paying him overtime money to work this field. So they're out here, they know right then. Also, the gang members know who's who.
The investigators of this unit are its lifeblood, patrolling the streets by day and night. They keep close tabs on gang members, mostly by talking to them. They learn who's in, what colors the signs mean, and how to read graffiti. The information collected in turn can sometimes help to topple the kingpins.
From our experience, if we take the top-notch echelon out of a gang and they're incarcerated or off the street for a period of time, our gang activity tends to decrease.
The unit was activated in mid-March, and although violent crimes during this period have increased since last year, officers in the force say they can make a difference during the summer season.
We want to stop it before we get into the summertime, the heat. People come out of their houses, there's a lot more potential, the days are longer, and summertime is always conducive to criminal activity.
9:45 p.m. Friday night was relatively quiet until shots were fired here at the 1000 block of West 3rd Street.
Characteristically, when you have a drive-by shooting, the possibility of being gang-related is very strong. And we're going to operate under that assumption at this point until the investigators that are here determine that it is perhaps something else.
Witnesses say a bystander was hit in the leg and he fled the scene in another vehicle. It's incidents like this that the gang task force is trying to prevent. The success of this program will determine whether its 6-month term will be renewed. But until then, it's business as usual, keeping track of the gangs plaguing the city. In Santa Ana, Michelle Miller, Orange County News Channel.
Shots rang out in a peaceful Santa Ana neighborhood, leaving one man wounded over the weekend, and gang activity is suspected. Despite an announcement by the Santa Ana Police Department that gang activity has decreased dramatically over the past year, daily occurrences of gang crime continue to fill pages of police reports.
We've reported that we've experienced somewhere between a 35 and 40% decrease in serious gang activity from April to this date. And those are good figures. We have experienced some recent flare-up, but that's not uncommon. You can't keep the lid totally on a problem of this magnitude.
The graffiti-filled neighborhoods here in Santa Ana are living proof of the abundance of gang activity, and Santa Ana police say they're putting their best foot forward to control the problem. 8 full-time officers currently comprise the gang unit, and they conduct weekly sweeps of targeted neighborhoods in an attempt to deter gang crime.
We think that our suppression effort is working so well that we're going to be able to maintain a lid for the most part. Again, there's no way that you can anticipate the isolated incidents when you're in a city as large as Santa Ana, and we have our resources throughout the city. You can't be every place all the time.
Police say that gang crime is especially hard to control because of the lack of cooperation of witnesses and participants.
Instead of getting cooperation, a lot of times what we get is information that is so erroneous that we then have to work at trying to unfound that to get at the real hard evidence, the stuff that we need to prosecute somebody sufficiently in the judicial system. And it's very difficult.
Police hope the current suppression efforts are enough to keep Santa Ana gangs from growing into the monumental type of gang problem that plagues Los Angeles. Reporting from Santa Ana, Tricia Takasugi, Orange County News Channel.
6 suspected gang members, 2 at this location on Sycamore Street. An assortment of weapons ranging from clubs and bats to handguns and a semi-automatic rifle, and a bike which may have started it all.
Mr. Perez's son's bicycle was forcibly stolen from him, and apparently later that afternoon or that evening, Mr. Perez was told about it, and he went into the area trying to find his son's bicycle.
Anaheim police served the search warrant Tuesday morning looking for the people who beat Jose Perez last week. Police say Jose Perez came to this part of the barrio in hopes of retrieving his son's bicycle. It was here at the block of 300 North Olive Street that he was confronted, severely beaten, and then left in the middle of the street until paramedics came to his rescue. Police suspect the Anaheim Travelers City Gang is responsible, and they want to make sure that this type of random attack doesn't happen again.
Yes, there is a lot of concern on our part because here was a totally innocent person that was just a victim of an unprovoked attack. And so, yes, it bothers all of us. Well, the next step in this particular case today is we are going to go through all the evidence that was seized under the search warrants and the probation searches that were done at the 7 different locations today. We'll analyze that evidence and we will try to put any of the evidence that's available into our criminal case that we'll be submitting to the district attorney's office for filing of criminal charges and future court prosecution.
Police want to arrest several other suspects. In the meantime, Jose Perez is at a local hospital recovering from his injuries. In Anaheim, Michelle Miller, Orange County News Channel.
Currently being considered by the school board would prohibit students from wearing Los Angeles Raiders and Kings jackets, also red and blue tennis shoes. These items are associated with certain gangs.
Right now, one of the provisions in our code, or the proposed dress code, would be that any clothing or grooming or other kinds of attire that the county probation department or the Tustin Police Department indicate that gangs are utilizing, those would not be permitted in our schools. So we're using the police department and the probation department as the basis for determining what's appropriate clothing and what isn't.
Now, the students we talked to are dead set against the dress code. They say they won't readily accept it. Joe Rivera is one of them. Joe admits being associated with a gang.
People should be able to dress the way they want to dress. I mean, look at me. You know, at my school, they don't allow that, and there's nothing wrong with it. I kick back with gangs, yeah, but, I mean, there's a bunch of other people that can dress the way they want.
If the school board say you got to dress this way, you think students will go for it or protest?
Well, I know I won't. I'm going to wear whatever I want. And if they tell me that I have to wear a tie and slacks and all that, shit, I'll wear whatever I want. It's up to me, not to them.
Other students agree. They say clothing is their right to freedom of expression.
What's going on, you guys? Welcome back. Another episode of Green Lit Gang TV. Much love, much appreciation. Thank you guys so much for checking out the channel today. It means a lot that you are here. Hope you all had a good weekend. Really quick, if this is your first time checking out one of my videos, thank you. First of all, seriously, thank you for taking the time to watch it. I really hope you do enjoy it. And if you do, go back, check out some of my other videos, check out some of my other content. Let me know what you think. If you are a returning individual to this channel, if you have been supporting this channel, then you already know how much you mean to me. You already know how much your support matters. We have had a great start to 2025. Like I said in my last video, we hit 18,000 subscribers just a couple days ago. For all of 2025, my goal was 20,000 subscribers, and I think we're going to get there literally in the halfway point of the year. June is 6 months in. It looks like we're going to hit that sometime in June. So again, that is all because of you guys. I am truly humbled by it. It means a lot to see these numbers growing. And again, thank you so much. Lastly, if you like what you see, if you like what you hear, hit the like button, hit the comment button, engage in some conversation. Please subscribe because it does mean a lot that you choose to subscribe. And I kind of forgot, I've always forgotten to throw this one in there. Hit the notification bell. Set a reminder for when my videos drop. Thank you. Okay, so today we're going to be going back to High Desert State Prison located in Susanville, California. This is an article from the CDCR's main page a day after our attack, which occurred on February 1st, 2021. This article is February 2nd, 2021. Just continues to show, man, this channel, we have been covering the California prison system for 2025. This has been the theme of my channel in 2025. And again, it's been proven that the California prison model that was adopted years back does not work. Again, it does not work. You're going to see murder rates continue to rise in these prisons. You're going to continue to see murder rates amongst inmates, staff, not just inmates, that's what I'm saying, staff, and it's all at the hands of these administrators and the governor, someone like Gavin Newsom, the head of the CDCR, Jeff McCumber. It's a joke, and I really don't know how much more violence is going to need to happen before they need to make or realize they need to make some wholesale changes. But, okay, enough of that. Let's jump right into the article here. High Desert State Prison officials are investigating the death of an incarcerated man as a homicide after he was attacked by two other inmates. On February 1st at approximately 6:30 p.m., staff observed inmate Ricardo Palmerin punch inmate Christian Lepe, knocking him to the ground and hitting him with stabbing-like motions. Another inmate, David Morales, joined in the attack. Officers immediately responded and fired 2 rubber bullets at Palmerin, halting the violence. Lepe suffered multiple stab wounds. Responding staff began life-saving measures and transported him to the prison's medical facility where treatment continued. A doctor would pronounce Lepe deceased at 7:30 p.m. Officers recovered 2 inmate-manufactured weapons at the scene of the attack. No staff members were injured in the altercation. Palmerin and Morales were placed in segregated housing pending an investigation into their involvement. And, of course, inmate movement is always limited. The Lassen County District Attorney's Office is assisting HDSP's Investigative Services Unit. The offices of the Inspector General had been notified. Lepe, 24, Christian Lepe, was received from Tulare County on October 9th, 2017. He was sentenced to 9 years for assault with a deadly weapon, assault with force likely to produce great bodily injury, and an enhancement of inflicting great bodily injury involving domestic violence. Ricardo Palmerin, 26, was received from Kings County on March 11th, 2015. He was sentenced to 20 years for second-degree attempted murder as a second striker and a street gang enhancement. While in prison, Palmerin in 2015 was sentenced to an additional 4 years for possession, manufacture of a deadly weapon by a prisoner. And Morales, 27, was received from San Francisco County on March 1st, 2017. He was sentenced to 24 years for assault with a semi-automatic firearm, evading a police officer, causing serious bodily injury, and gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated. Okay, so these guys are Norteno gang members, Morales and Palmerin. I got really good background information on them. Those are 2 alleged attackers, and they are 100% documented Norteños. Palmerin, he's out of Kings County, out of Tulare County, 559. That's a very active Norteno gang area. Morales, he was received from San Francisco County, but I think he's actually from San Mateo. I could be wrong, but I do believe I read that. It's just that he was basically in the San Francisco County area. He goes, he does a drive-by, spins the block, shoots at these three kids, and we're going to read the article. And then as he's fleeing from police, crashes and ends up killing two pedestrians. And I actually found their pictures. I put that up for you guys. We'll get to that in just a minute when we're talking specifically about him. But like I said, I was able to find good information on the two alleged attackers. So first, we're going to be talking about Ricardo Palmerin Jr. He's also known as Playboy, and he is a Norteno gang member. This is an article from December 29th, 2014. We're going to jump right into it. A man wanted in connection with a stabbing in Stratford was arrested Friday after a SWAT team ordered him out of a Hanford home he was hiding out in. He was at his girlfriend's house. The Kings County Sheriff's Office said Ricardo Sidonia Palmerin Jr., who was 20 at the time, also known as Playboy, was booked into the Kings County Jail on suspicion of attempted homicide, along with a parolee at-large warrant. According to deputies, during an investigation into Palmerin's suspected involvement in a stabbing earlier this month, detectives got word that he could possibly be staying at a home in the 300 block of 9th Street. A search warrant was issued to enter the residence, and around 2:15 p.m. Friday, deputies along with a SWAT team surrounded the home. When the team demanded that all the people inside come out, several adults, including Palmerin and his 18-year-old girlfriend, Yesenia Vega, reportedly exited the home. Palmerin was subsequently arrested on the outstanding warrants and placed in the county jail on $620,000 bail. Vega, the girlfriend, was also arrested for harboring a fugitive. Her bail was set at $15,000. Deputies said on December 6th, Palmerin allegedly stabbed Jose Luis Gomez near Cross and 4th Streets in Stratford. Gomez suffered several stab wounds to his stomach and was airlifted to Community Regional Medical Center in Fresno for treatment. He is expected to recover. Palmerin is a known gang member, according to deputies who said the assault was believed to be gang-related. And you can see, I found his old mugshot from when this article first came out. Obviously, he has way more tattoos by the murder that he committed in 2021. But you can see the 4 dots on the left cheek and the 559. And he's just he's 20, so he's still young. And he's just really jumping into this criminal lifestyle. And you see literally the effect of gang and prison life 7 years later, when you see his newest mugshot with the tattoos, the upside-down cross, and the crimes that he is alleged to have committed. Okay, David Morales, San Francisco County. And this article was from January 4th, 2013. This talks about the drive-by he did, the fleeing from police, and the accident that happened, which claimed the lives of 2 civilians. This is from San Francisco Daily. This is January 4th, 2013. A San Francisco man charged with killing 2 people with his car while fleeing from police in the Mission District was on probation for participating in a criminal street gang, the district attorney's office said. David Morales, who was 19 at the time, was convicted in April 2012 in San Mateo County for gang activity, said San Francisco District Attorney George Gasson. You guys might remember George Gasson's name. Prosecutors say Morales is a member of the Norteños. Police arrested Morales on New Year's Day after he allegedly ran a red light and slammed his black Chevy Impala into a Toyota sedan in the intersection of 21st Street and South Van Ness Avenue at about 8 a.m. The impact of the collision sent the Toyota spinning into a pedestrian, Francisco Gutierrez, 26 years old, of San Francisco. He was killed. Also killed in the crash was Sylvia Tuncun, 29, of San Francisco, who was a passenger in the Toyota that was hit. The driver, an 18-year-old man, is still in the hospital in serious condition. Investigators said Morales had just driven through the Valencia Gardens housing complex at 14th and Guerrero Streets around 7:45 a.m. and fired a gun at 3 young men ages 15, 18, and 19. None of them were injured. Police, believing Morales' car matched witness description of the shooter's vehicle, tried to pull Morales over a few blocks away at 21st and Mission Streets, authorities said. He stopped, but then took off, driving east on 21st Street until colliding with the Toyota, police said. Morales appeared in court Friday, but did not enter a plea because the public defender's office is in the process of assigning an attorney to represent him, said Tamara Alperton, a spokeswoman for the public defender. Bail was set at $10 million, and they said that the reason he shot at those 3 kids, it's like issuing a challenge, right? A Norteno gang member is going to drive by. It's early in the morning. He's going to let him know, hey, I'm here. What are you going to do about it, right? I'm here. I'm shooting at you. I'm in your neighborhood. What are you going to do about it? In addition to 2 counts of murder, Morales is charged with 3 counts of attempted murder for the shooting at Valencia Gardens. He is also accused of evading police, participating in a criminal street gang, and being a felon in possession of a handgun. Morales faces up to 200 years in state prison if convicted, according to the district attorney. Gasson called the case a tragedy and said he had little tolerance for gang behavior. Quote, I want to send a message to young people, especially those who are involved in gangs or thinking of getting involved in gangs. They need to look at the consequences, Gasson said. Quote, the outcome of their lives shouldn't be getting killed in the street or spending the rest of their lives in prison. I don't agree a lot with George Gasson, but I do agree with what he said there. I 100% agree with that. There were some people that were upset in some other articles about the time that Morales was facing because, I mean, he didn't mean to kill the 2 people, like these murder charges, but at the same time, it's like, man, can you imagine 8 a.m. in the morning, you're on the corner of a street, you're probably walking to get coffee or food or meet with family. I mean, it's 8 a.m. You're not out after midnight. You're not out doing anything where it's like, hey, man, things go down at this time of night. You shouldn't be out. It's 8 a.m. And all of a sudden a car comes ripping through an intersection, hits another car. They fly into you. You crash into a store, and your life is over in your early to mid-20s. That is, or in the case of Sylvia Tuncun, she's in a car and she gets slammed into by David Morales, who's driving recklessly as Impala, trying to get away from cops. It's just nuts. But anyway, there you guys have it. Another crazy story. I can't wait to bring you guys the next one. I'm going to be bringing a lot this week. Thank you guys so much for checking this video out. Until next time, peace.